Wow-wee. Rachel Maddow, hats off to you, girlfriend. You're going to go down in history. You will be in the history books. Best interview ever. Not the biggest Rachel Maddow fan. I like her, but she tends to tire me out. But man, that video was that interview with Lev Parnas yesterday was riveting, and I could not take my eyes away. I loved it, every single minute of it. It was just wow, mouth-watering. So would you see? So I've got so many questions, and I'm just overwhelmed with it all. So I've got like 10 gazillion cards here, and you guys know I have technical difficulties. So I'm going to go ahead and pre-record this, and as it flows for me, I'm not going to try to do it all in one piece, because things are going to come to me, and then I'm going to post my recording together with these cards for you guys to see, and hopefully everything will flow well and you'll be able to see everything clearly. That's my intention. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already. Please make sure you're still subscribed. Fishy things be going on. Okay, and please support my channel. I need your support, guys. I need you to circulate my videos to your friends on your social network. Share my links. And I need your contributions from time to time. Please become a Patreon subscriber or donate. There's a donate button on the homepage. Thank you so much. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this reading. The Lev Parnas interview left me with so many questions, and then there's a part 2 tonight. But just based on that, I want to know how this is going to affect Mitch McConnell. Is he going to call the right witnesses? Is he going to cave and do the right thing for the country? I want to know how this is going to affect the other names called out by Parnas, Barr specifically, and Bolton, and Mike Pence. What's down the road? What's coming down the pike for these guys as a result of their implication in holding back foreign aid to Ukraine? Other questions I want to know about. Who was behind the Jekyll and Hyde, or whoever this Robert Hyde guy is? We've never heard of him. I never heard of him. He's mysterious. I haven't seen a picture of him. But apparently there was more than just backstabbing and backbiting and threats of job loss for Maria Yovanovitch. She was being literally stalked, and I want to know who's behind that. Okay, because she felt her life was threatened based on these documents produced by Lev Parnas, even though they're trying to shine it off like it was a joke. I want to know if it was real. So I'm going into this reading with my 10 million cards, one by one, piece by piece. Get yourself a glass of juice. Smoke it if you got it. Put the playback speed on high if I'm talking too slow, because we're ready to go now. Okay, so we start off with a 10-card reading, which was a general reading. I just wanted to know what the cards want to tell me about the Lev Parnas interview. And I got the 3 of Cups reversed. This is scandalous. Scandalous, baby. Third parties. There is joy and celebration over the scandal, over the gossip. And it's also juicy that it's all now coming out. Betrayals within the party or the group. Betrayed by friends in this party, or by groups of friends no longer cooperating with one another. This drug deal is having long-term consequences. Just you wait. And the party needs to ask itself this question: can you survive this indulgence? Can you survive the scandal that has implicated so many and finally, at long last, implicates the King of Cups, which would be Pence, Putin, Trump, and Barr, the untouchables. Now they're within reach. Now they've been named. Named by this Page of Swords reversed. The Parnas interview. This interview. Oh my God, Rachel, thank you. This narc, this snitch, he talks too damn much, somebody is saying. Motherfucker, this is also Giuliani as well as Parnas. And I told you 3 weeks ago, this is a dead man walking. And that's why he's talking. That's why he's talking so much. Because he's trying to protect himself. He's seen it all before and he knows what they're capable of. So let the games begin. Which team are you on? Which side are you going to fight for? Country or party? This interview and these words of Parnas have set events in motion, and changes everything. It's cause of much conflict, discussion, disputes, and infighting, and a battle, a conflict, internal and external, within its members. And the struggle begins to bring forth to the table what you have to say, and what these witnesses have to offer, and what they have to say. Change is coming because of these struggles, because of these words. And committees are coming together, clashing, I see, clashing of opinions, so much frustration and pressure to work together. A battle to get what each party wants to bring to the table. But I don't see agreement. I don't see cooperation. The Four of Wands reverse says the house is not in order. Out of order. There is a lack of harmony and upset in this house. The house can represent Congress, the White House. The house can represent the country, a sense of safety and protection in one's relationships, in one's family, with parties or members, or one's mate. Okay? There's disruption and disharmony, and things are out of balance. Things aren't settled. This is real choppy waters we're in now, says the King of Cups, Pence, Trump, Barr. And tensions in the house cause defections in the house. Tensions between the members of one's family or party and amongst two parties in particular. And we always have to talk about the married couple in the house, the silent ones, Ivanka and Jared, but they're always so silent. They're so hard to read, but somehow they're implicated too. Uncertainties and a lack of dependability amongst members, right? In the house, whatever this house represents, including the country. And this is the collective feeling as well. And there's a lack of support for this air sign. There's a lack of support in the words of the snitch, right? The White House is not going to give credence or any credibility to what Lev Parnas has to say, right? So, but then also this Page of Swords, which represents an air sign, is also above the Gemini card. For me, the Magician is Gemini or Aries. In my readings, he is definitely Gemini first, but I've also seen other readers refer to him as an Aries. So maybe Trump has fire in his chart. I don't know. I know that Rudy and Trump are Geminis, but I don't know what any other zodiac signs are. Pence, I feel, is definitely, this King of Cups, I feel, is calling out Pence, specifically his energy, but it could also be calling out Barr and Trump and also Putin. He's often described by the Scorpio card, even though people have told me he's a Sagittarius. I don't care. Once my cards label, they label. So I read in layers, and so there's many different layers here, trying to keep it all straight. And there's a lot going on. and a lot of new characters too. So, where we at? Where we going at with this MY? I left off at the Four of Wands reverse. The uncertainties and the lack of dependability amongst the members of this house, this country, and this party. A lack of support, and some are leaving, feeling quite unsettled and causing the child, Trump and Pence and Barr, and others implicated to be quite unsettled by it all. Okay? Maybe even McConnell was this King of Cups energy too. Trying to feel for him. Trying to feel for McConnell. He's a devious one. I think he's his magician reverse too, as well as Trump. But these parties that are feeling the instability now, they're feeling afraid for their future. The White House the White House administration is afraid for their future. And those in the party, those in the House, are all afraid for their jobs. And some of them are thinking of the country, but not enough of them. At this point, there's still just not enough of them thinking and afraid for the country and for the democracy. Their mainly main motivation is themselves. This is a very unstable place, our government, our house, our country, and this Republican Party. And unfortunately, this democracy is in a very unstable place. And this is a staged show that will not go well, this trial. They have to appease the country. They have to find a way. They have to do something to stabilize the situation so that it's not so out of balance, right? Or at least appear to hold a reasonable trial. Back to this Page of Swords reverse, what has happened in the recent past, this Parnas interview, right? I also see not only him speaking out, but Trump and Giuliani talking some shit too. But they can't walk the walk. They can't take it back. They can't walk it back. They can't back it up or back up their defense the way that Parnas can, even though the Parnas nature and character is untrustworthy and motives are suspicious. His evidence does back up much of his claims, as you can see here below in the Four of Pentacles. He's insulating himself on all four corners, and he's putting them as human shields to protect himself. So he named Pence, he named Giuliani, he named Bolton, and he named Trump, and he named Barr. That's 5. Maybe he wasn't looking at Bolton so much as a human shield, but more so just cooperation. So I feel that Parnas has much evidence to back up his claim as I'm looking at this Four of Pentacles below. Trump is going to go on the attack, and so is Rudy. They're all talking too much. They're all telling on themselves at this point. And it's so troubling to everyone what these air signs, what these henchmen are saying, right? Because they're afraid. Parnas, Giuliani, Trump, and anyone else who speaks out in defense of the president. They're afraid. And they're trying to evade justice. They're trying to evade, you see the Seven of Swords next to this Justice card. They're trying to evade consequences for their crimes, for their actions, their deeds. And that's their motive. they're talking and talking too much, telling on themselves and telling on each other. And it's very troubling what they're saying. And they're all guilty. Okay? Seven of Swords, he's guilty. He's gotten away with it, but that time is passing. Okay? The Justice card is coming in. It's time for justice now. It's time for revelation. It's time for the truth to come out. That's why they're talking. They can't even help it. It's almost like they're compelled to talk and tell on themselves. The energy is telling me that. But I feel specifically Parnas is talking because he's afraid. He's afraid of getting what Epstein got, right? And I just feel I'm just getting the word bar implicated in all of that. Oh, why do the best stories come out on trash day? I'm sorry about all the background noise. It's trash day. All right. Yeah, so I feel like this Justice card is definitely karma, and it's time for people to speak the truth and they're trying to evade their karma. But it's time. It's time. Let me talk about this, because I'm kind of just jumping around. I'm not going to follow a flow. I'm just going to go with whatever I get. So let's talk about this Four of Pentacles here next to this Six of Pentacles. So this is withholding foreign aid. I love these cards. These are really cool cards. Withholding aid, withholding foreign aid, withholding support, holding back, funds, funding, to a country, to a land. This White House did that. And they're coming under attack for that. Okay. But I feel like they're specifically coming now for certain members of this White House for this withholding. I feel like there's going to be like some formal investigation put in motion by Nancy to prosecute these people for their unlawful deeds. So, Parnas said something that he's trying to get out of, but he can't escape it, okay? There's something he can't escape, and I feel like we're touching on this whole Hyde story now, because Hyde, this so-called drunk, right? I feel like he could be the King of Cups. He could be the Queen of Cups here reversed. And I wanted to know who's behind, was that for real? And the Page of Swords reversed is a stalker. He was stalking and surveilling this Queen of Cups, which is Yovanovitch. And she was very afraid. She knew. Or her fears were not taken seriously. Who was behind the stalking, and was there actual threat on her life? Let me throw a Sibilla, Lavira Sibilla, and ask that question. This reading is for entertainment purposes only. I am a card interpreter. I don't claim to be a psychic. I interpret the cards, and they are here for everyone to see, and you can come up with your own interpretation. It may be completely different than mine. And that's fine, because this is just for entertainment purposes only. Now, my track record of accuracy is pretty good. So you can take that out however you want. But just for the record, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just telling you the story that my cards are laying out for me today is storytelling time, folks. So I'm asking the cards, some shuffling, was there a conspiracy to take Yovanovitch out, like take her out? If so directed? So the card that fell out was Amuleto, the sick man. So this Hyde guy is a sick man, the cards are saying. Sick physically or mentally. It's specifically saying he's a sick man, not well in the head, not emotionally stable or secure. I feel he's mentally ill. And he did visit places. He did. He was cause of nuisance and unrest to Yovanovitch. Says he's very much a liar though too.
Braggart.
And a ticking time bomb. He stood for a ticking time bomb. So he was kind of like waiting for the go-ahead, waiting for the direction, I feel, from this magician reversed. And he would have caused great damage if allowed to erupt. A toxic person to be around, a bad person to be implicated with. Mentally unstable is what the cards are telling me. All right. I'm going to pull another clarifier on this magician reversed and find out if he has had orders to stalk Yovanovitch and take her out if necessary. I want to know, who is this magician and what were his orders to hide? Oh my God. The card that fell out was the worst card in the deck. Disgrazia reversed. Well, first off, it says this guy is a heavy substance abuser, and very much a slave to his addictions. Disgrazia reverse is a card that does describe the worst in human experience: war, conflict, abuse, murder, violence, kidnappings, and dictatorship. So he was under that kind of influence. Okay? And I do feel that this magician reverse would have used this person if the time was right, if he was in the right sort of mood. I do feel he would have given the order to take her out. I do feel she was in that kind of danger. Disgrazia is no joke. She was in serious danger, maybe even of a kidnapping, but somehow she would have, her freedoms would have been lost.
Or in jeopardy.
Somehow he was under some kind of manipulation where he would have had no choice but to do it if he was told, okay? There's something on him and he would have been manipulated to do so, and by force. This is a card of mafia type of moves. This is a card of spying. And dictatorship. This is what dictators do. They take out their enemies. And he saw her as an enemy. this magician reversed. And I believe he would have, if he needed to, he would have had this guy carry out this order. Maybe the guy was on order to carry it out. Maybe he was just waiting. But the guy's a sociopath, Hyde, and so is this Gemini or Aries reversed, or this magician reversed, whoever that is, whether that be Barr or Trump himself. And again, this is for entertainment purposes only. It's just my guess as to who that energy belongs to. It could be anybody, right? It's the magician reversed. But it says that their soul is evil, and they're in total darkness. They're capable of anything, any ruthless move, by any means necessary to get what they want. And they had some sort of dominating control over this Hyde character where they could have made him do it. Okay? So there you go. And that explains again why the Six of Swords is here next to this, to all these people, is there was no escape. They couldn't escape this. And they couldn't move past this. And the past is now catching up with them. The past is now being revealed. And there's going to be a return to this scene of the crime. So there is going to be some sort of investigation into this. Okay? I promise you. We shouldn't gloss over this. This is a pretty heavy situation here. And it reveals the utter dark nature of these men in power of our country. Nowhere to run to, baby, and nowhere to hide. I said I would never sing, but never say never. Can we just move on from this? No. But moving on, let's go to the Seven of Pentacles reversed. These are the senators. For me, Seven of Pentacles is the senators, specifically the conservative ones, the Republican senators. Okay, and it's not a good investment. A lot of them are thinking to continue to defend this guy. It's definitely a short-term investment. I'm not saying they're not making the investment. I'm just saying they're not thinking long-term. They're thinking short-term. But what I'm picking up from the Seven of Pentacles reverse is a useless vote, a waste of time, results expected or not delivered, and this is cause for examination and scrutiny of these senators as to what their true priorities and where there are and where their loyalties lie. I feel a vote doesn't deliver effective results that will help protect the trial in the country. Okay, that's what I'm getting. And these people are a waste of time. They're not worth it. These Republican senators. And we need to stop investing our trust in them. They will lose a vote in 2020. They will lose their seat based on these actions today. McConnell loses some numbers. Maybe he loses 7. Maybe 7. 3 for sure, but it's saying possibly 7. He loses 7 who fall by the wayside, who can't agree, who fall out, who aren't unified anymore because they don't want to make this investment. And they don't see it as any longer worthwhile, and they're afraid for their jobs, they're afraid for their positions. And some of them are afraid for the future of the country. Some of them have hearts next to this King of Cups. Some of them are finally letting that truth sink in, right? But it's so insecure. These people are so superficial. Can't even tell you.
Unchangeable.
You can normally trust the King of Cups, but in this position, I don't trust him, and he doesn't trust himself. This King of Cups is supposedly an ideal, upstanding, morally correct, good guy, right? He's a good guy, but in this position, there's a lot of suspect as to how good he really is. This is the man in the hot seat, and he's sitting in troubling waters right now. He's covering up his emotions, trying to control them as best he can, but it's starting to show. Trump, Pence, Pompeo, Barr, Bolton, Parnas. I really get a strong Pence feel. It could be any of these men at times playing out with this energy. It could also be this Hyde dude, okay? Because I see someone who is in a precarious position, subject to moods, swings of his own or of others, right? Whoever it is, they're in the hot seat now, and they're nervous. And I think Pence, or whoever this man is representing, like I said, is in a precarious place. The walls are closing in, and it's sink or swim time. But he takes a moral stance. He's trying to contain his composure and remain level-headed and appear morally correct. This could also be not only Pence, but McConnell when questioned. It's all a ruse. It's all a manipulation. It's all a bunch of bullshit. Could also be this Chief Justice being sworn in too. And the question is, will he stand for justice? Will he do what is morally right or correct, or is he going to be an interest of the Conservative Party? Says he's very emotionally affected by this, not impartial, whoever this is, whether this be this Chief Justice or McConnell or Pence. This person is implicated. This person is not impartial. This person is not without connection. They are involved. Emotionally, they are involved. They are a part of this. And even though they're not trying to show it, they are deeply emotionally affected by this Parnas interview. Now, this is someone that we in the past haven't been able to get to know very well, haven't been able to see into. We haven't been able to get close to him. We haven't been able to put him on the stand, but the time is coming.
That could be Bolton called out too.
The unreachable man is now within reach. If we play our cards right, if we do the right thing, if truth would be known. But will McConnell do the right thing? And when I ask that, I use Sibylla and Davina to clarify, what will McConnell do? Will he call forth the right witnesses, appropriate witnesses to get to the truth? Is he finally swayed to do the right thing in the midst of public pressure and all this truth coming out, spilling out so fast? And McConnell got the gambler's card. Two of spades. If that were a tarot card, that would be the Two of Swords. So he's on the fence, right? He's trying to decide, but he's indecisive, right? He still hasn't, he's still not, he's still making up his mind what he's going to do. He's weighing up and considering the situation so that it can go in his favor. He's sizing up the matter and counting votes. But he doesn't have all the votes. He's lost some, okay? He's lost some. And, but he's not playing fair by the look of this card. He's not playing fair. And he's using some cheating or manipulation and dishonesty in his strategy. So basically, if he's got the votes, he's going to keep riding this train with Trump. If he doesn't have the votes, he'll protect himself. I feel that's what McConnell will do. Now let's go to this Three of Pentacles reversed. It can represent a lack of teamwork amongst the parties involved, scandal, betrayal, third-party interests that aren't healthy, that aren't good, and black money,
blackmail,
underhanded deals. And I feel like there's a refusal. I feel like this is specifically witnesses, because for me, I always feel like this is something that you watch and you learn when you get the Three of Pentacles. And so they don't want to watch, they don't want to learn, they don't want to hear the truth, and they don't want to hear from certain witnesses. I don't feel McConnell is going to call forth the people that we want to hear. At least that's where he's headed at this point. But more can come out. All right, there's a lot of free will involved, and there's so many different characters who have so much to say that I feel McConnell is trying to keep himself positioned to where he can pull a rabbit out of his hat if he needs to, and try and say that he's being neutral, but he's not. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's all tricks. And there's deals negotiated in the dark, talks going on behind the Gemini's back, behind Trump's back, and behind Pence's back. Nobody to rely on, and you shouldn't. And alliances made in case things go left. So, let's go down to the Sibylla and the Venus at the bottom here that are clarifying the tarot cards from the Illuminati deck. And let's just see what story that reveals, and then we're going to go ahead and end this reading. So, the shady character here is Parnas. The shady character, these shady individuals, this shadiness going on in our justice system is reflected here by the Seven of Swords next to the Justice card. And with consultant below, this is just the interview that reveals all the shadiness with Rachel Maddow, right? Four of Clubs reverse, cause of general discontent about our justice, about our courts, and about this trial. Justice, you need to come forth and you need to explain. You need to come forth, you need to give testimony, you need to explain and be judged. But the Protector card is saying, I feel the Protector card is representing a person. So this could be McConnell, this could be Barr, somebody affiliated with the justice, somebody affiliated with the trial, could be the Chief Justice. They're standing in a mode to protect and watch over the justice. But there's discontent about this. He's trying to appeal. He's trying to make you think he's trustworthy. That's his and he's saying something. He's talking. He's giving some sort of speech or talk. He's saying something. Okay, and he's trying to appear trustworthy and protective of the process. that he's trying to work with us. That's the impression he's giving off, or trying to make us, trying to give us, but there's discontent about it. Where his faithfulness lies. Next to this loss of money card, which clarifies the protector, the loss of money, and the infantilism all fell out to clarify this Four of Pentacles, this withholding of funds, this holding back, this
Justice.
reserve attitude, and this protective defense. It's clarifying that, so give me a second. Withholding funds, right? Four of Pentacles, and the loss of money is about money loss, something material, and also a failure to recall, or a failure to find
Adequate information or evidence.
What is so important, and the search for the truth.
Failure to recall, or one's memory is failing. That's what he's saying.
They're trying to explain why the money was withheld. They're trying to explain circumstances behind that. Whoever this protector card is, bar, somebody in charge, is a wealthy man, a businessman. Could be any of these politicians. I don't know who.
Could be Pence.
But they're feeling the pinch, and they're in a crisis situation, and they need to explain themselves about the money, hold up or loss. And they have to explain their implication. I feel this is Pence because there's sexual ambiguity in the infantilism card. So I feel that that's telling me this protector card is Pence. He's going to be doing some explaining. He has some explaining to do. It's a very unpleasant situation for him. And again, he's trying to explain it away. He's trying to get you to believe him. He's trying to get you to trust him based on this morality clause. There's some sort of morality clause being discussed about this holdup of funds on another layer.
And also obstruction of justice.
It's going to be coming at. These people are going to have to explain that. So there's the infantilism card is about a lot of loss and personal torment. This is really bad. This is really bad. And a lot of people are losing it. The visit card clarifies this aid to foreign places or foreign people. And receiving foreign support, specifically from China, I'm getting. And this could be Jared and Ivanka. Again, I'm getting this couple energy in this family card, but also the White House, the White House, Trump's White House, receiving foreign aid from China, foreign help. It doesn't have to be China; it could be any kind of foreign aid, but just because I see Chinese people in the card, I'm saying China. And maybe this is an investigation or something that needs to be explained, but they're receiving some kind of help or support. There could be visits or talks. I guess this information will be coming out soon, because there's chattering, a lot of talk about these visits or these talks, and this aid, this support. Let me go into the visit a little bit deeper. Now, the visit represents conversations, and next to the chattering, there's a lot of conversations taking place, but a lot of information being spread, incoming news and events, and people being interviewed, people being, there are some witnesses called forth, but they're being called forth about
stupid shit,
money, about this transaction. Probably it's a family situation, a Biden situation. I think they're actually going to call forth the Bidens. I think they're going to do that, because it says it's just distraction and gossip. Guys, that's just what I'm picking up today. You know, these energies can change like that. There's so much free will involved. There's so many integral people involved that if they give up the goods, it could shift the whole thing. But that's where we stand today. That's what I'm seeing. I see interviews. I see people being interrogated and talked to. But it's about this money. It's about this family. And it's about this foreign business transaction.
or travels.
And a lot of it is just bullshit with this chattering here, card next to it. And there's not a lot of evidence to corroborate what's being said here. Chattering is just gossip. It's just hearsay. And that's what they're going to call for. That's what they're going to interview. And they're going to be asked private questions. A lot of questions trying to get into their private life, trying to, make them look bad. Intrusive questions and a lot of snooping. So that looks like the direction that they're headed. They're not good intentions in this talk. And it's distraction. All right, it's distraction with this manipulating magician reversed, and it's to cause emotional upset. It's going to cause a lot of upset too within the country. The people are finally going to get very angry and upset about this when this trial proceeds in this manner. If it proceeds in this manner, in this type of manner, it's going to cause a lot of people to get angry. It's going to cause chaos and uproar. Okay? Because what that represents, if McConnell and these Republicans, and this is just me personally talking right now, if they don't do the right thing, if they don't call forth appropriate witnesses and really put Trump on trial and show the world that our justice system is working and functioning, that it's going to destroy the democracy. It's going to destroy our standing in the world. And it's going to represent that our democracy has fallen. Okay? And I don't think people are going to recognize that, and I think they're going to get very upset. I think that they're going to finally be upset. So,
sickened by it.
And I'm not seeing for sure that this is the route that they will take, but I feel like this is the route that we're headed on as of today. So yes, there will be witnesses called. I just don't feel that they're witnesses that will get to the bottom of the story with Trump. They're more like witnesses to trying to defend Trump. Okay? That's what's going to be offered up in this trial. And I do feel like there will be counteraction, counter attack and suit against and investigations of the house, by the house, of the house, by the house, by Nancy specifically in charge, this Queen of Wands, okay? There's a subpoena on the way to somebody. I just can't see for sure who. I feel like it's coming from Nancy. It's a surprise. It'll come out of the blue, unexpected. The Knight of Swords and this gift clarifies that. And it's promising. Maybe it's to maybe she is going to get, maybe there is going to be some type of negotiation here or trade deal in terms of witnesses. They're going to bring forth some superficial witnesses, but Nancy's going to get someone key, I think. There's a subpoena on the way, unexpected. Muse. Just don't know who it is. Let me throw in La Vera Sibilla and just kind of see who that might be towards. But, you know, with gifts, I feel it's someone favorable to her case, favorable to justice being carried out, with a lawyer here. Alright, so first impressions, I got Alegria, Alcore, and the Widow fell out. Which, you know, the Widow is, to me, is a Trump's card, because he always wears that big long coat. But it could be someone else. Could be someone who's lost something important to them, a job or some position or something. Maybe they resigned or they were fired or whatever. It could be a subpoena to someone like that. But also there's this person could have been in the inner circle. And then this Algrizia Alcore always reminds me of back in the Mueller days of Don Jr. and Ivanka and Jared. But I don't know why they would be called. So it must mean something else. Give me a second. It could be that someone there is a call for someone to resign, and not a subpoena. It could be a call for someone in a major position to resign
in the name of justice,
because of their connections, because of their links. That's what I'm getting from these two cards too. Someone should resign because they're too connected. They're too linked. They're in the family. They're connected to the White House, and there's just a strong call for resignation. That could be part of the uproar or the chaos that breaks out if some sham is carried forth by McConnell. So I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Because I'm tired. I'm sure there's more to uncover. If I see some more, maybe I'll write it in a post. Okay, I'll direct you back to this video and then write it in a post. So thanks for tuning in, and make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to leave your comments. Please subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Please support the channel. Become a Patreon subscriber, and there's a donate button on the homepage. Thanks again for your interest and for your viewing time. Blessings. Bye.